Hi everyone, and welcome to my first painting video on my YouTube channel. This piece is called Tea Time, and it is a mixed watercolor and gouache painting. And here I'm just laying down the foundations in watercolor. I just want to get paint down everywhere on the paper, so I can get a little bit of a feel for the piece, so there are not any white areas. And so just painting along, doing thin layers, and only watercolor so far. This is usually how I work. I tend to like to put down thin layers first, to just I don't know, I think I'm too scared of doing, going for the potent color right away. I like to build it up. I'm a little uncertain, I think, so I like to build it up gradually. So I can sort of feel more confident as I go along. I know I can change it. And especially when it comes to watercolor, because you can take away color to a certain point. You can rub it off, but if you get too much paint and you need to change it, and it's too dark and you've already done too much in that area, it's very hard to get it light again or to change it. So that's why I'm building it up like this. So here again, just layering in more and more to get the feel for it. So I'm very excited to share my painting process with you. It's also a challenge for me to do this, to set up the camera and record everything and edit it, and speaking now over it and doing all that work. It's a good challenge for me. Because I want to do this more often. I want to easily just record my paintings and just put them out there and get better and better and develop how I work and how I do this process. I follow a lot of artists on YouTube, and I'm fascinated about how they do it, and some of them are really, really good at doing nice videos and have different angles and moods and all kinds of stuff. And for this first one, I'm sort of keeping it basic and having the painting straight up like this. So here I'm just doing some outlines on the little sunny guy here, and some patterns on the teapot and the cup, and some of the hands, just to see it more clearly. And now here is where I decided to go over to gouache. It's sort of usually that's where I end up. I might start with watercolor, but I end up with gouache at the end, because there's something so nice with gouache. I like the thickness. I like that it's more painterly. And also I like how it covers an area, and the flatness of it. I just really love gouache. I've loved gouache ever since I was a little kid. Ever since I saw these amazing illustrations of Coca-Cola cans and all kinds of stuff made in gouache, and I was like amazed. It looks like photographs, but they're made with paints. And also these wonderful children's books illustrations, and just a bunch of other artists that do great work in gouache. So I tend to go over to gouache eventually when I paint. So here it's much easier for me. It's much easier to lay in the thicker paint and get everything built up the way I want to. So I'll have a sip of tea myself. So this painting is about well, it's about happiness. It's about this joy that I think is always present. It's always there, and sometimes we're blocked off from this joy, this inner happiness, because we have all kinds of trouble and all kinds of problems, and we can't feel it. We can't feel the joy, but it doesn't mean that it's not there. So this little dude is the joy. He's that inner joy that just relaxes, takes it easy, and goes for a walk and have his favorite cup of tea, and doesn't have so much cares, it doesn't have so much trouble, he doesn't overthink stuff like I do. He just enjoys. So here I'm doing the teapot and that stuff, and I really like that, the patterns and getting it to look like a teapot. And here is the birch tree. I love the birch tree. We have lots of that in Sweden, where I'm from. And also I wanted to paint a like this really nature scene with lots of great different plants and stones and trees and stuff, and mushrooms. So it was great fun. It took me a while to do it, but it was so much fun. I really, really enjoyed this process. It was one of the most fun pieces to paint for me. Especially doing this building here on the vegetation and the grass and leaves and trees and stuff. So it was great fun, and like I said before, this is the happy guy. He's my inner happiness, and because I have so much influence also from children's books, illustrations, Disney, and all kinds of great animation movies, and so that's also why I wanted to do this piece, because it sort of reminds me of all of that stuff that I like. So just sort of making it mine, making my version of this, and what influenced me. So here's the butterflies. I really like them, big ones, and I like the flatness of gouache. It just there's something about that I'm really drawn to. So the combination of having blending the gouache, doing transitions and blends, and then having sort of the flatness of the butterflies, and also sticking to the watercolor in the background, which I really like, because of the way the sky and the way the paint spread out there. I really like that. Okay, so I'm changing the angle here a bit, doing some close-ups of the big grass here, the foreground. And I love to work more like this, to have a background, a middle ground, and a foreground, so that there is this real depth, this real atmosphere, which I really like. So now I'm starting to do the little sun guy here, and I'm putting gouache on him here, and redoing the eyes. This was a crazy process. You will see. This will change a lot. You will see me fix this little guy a few times here, because this was too much. This ended up being too much. It's like the eyes are so. So here I'm taking all the paint, or as much of the paint, away from both the eyes and the body of this guy, to be able to paint it again. So here I painted it with a slightly more muted yellow, not so insanely bright, which was much nicer. And I changed the eyes to blue to sort of go with the teapot. But still, here I am having the eyes like the traditional emojis that doesn't have, it's just these button eyes. And I still thought, it's getting there, but the eyes are something missing. So I'll be redoing them soon again. Just filling in the legs and the arms here to get sort of a gray down, purplish color. Shoes to get them to become nice, and some details on the hands and on the cup. Yes, and also starting here to do the smoke, because just white smoke, that's too much. So I had to find the color and then mix it with white to get it to look like smoke to look like this really thin sort of, not smoke but steam. Yes, and the butterfly gets some patterns, which I really liked and enjoyed doing that. And working some more on vegetation. Okay, so now I'm working some more on the eyes. Still having them. Yes, okay, now I'm doing the pupils and making it more like a real eye, which makes him more alive, more of a character, more emotions. But still, this is too harsh, this is too much. So I had to knock it down. My wife was like checking it. No, this is too much. No, this is too much. I had to change it a few times to get it where I wanted it to be. You know, it should be there. It should be something that you look at, but not like super intense. It was a bit tedious, but okay, so here's the finished picture. I really enjoy this, and I hope you enjoy it. And there were some extra flowers and stuff here in the vegetation, and I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I want to make loads more for you to enjoy. So, all right, thank you. Bye-bye.